All right. What's up, everyone? Daddy Robux here, and today we are beginning a new campaign. We are going to be playing through the Lost Mines of Phandelver, and this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this one. Not going to do character introductions yet. We'll save that for a more natural point. So instead, let me give you guys the setup. Okay. We are going to start in the city of Neverwinter, and I'm going to take us over to a map, because Neverwinter is on the Sword Coast, like 99% of the adventures in 5e, and the city of Neverwinter is one of the large, great metropolises of the Sword Coast. Not quite as large and extravagant as Waterdeep, but still it is a very robust area. It's heavy in trade, as they sit both on the edge of the sea and on the river, and it's one of the main stops along the high road. So it's a high traffic port. There's vendors of every type imaginable. There is a robust and well-stocked city guard, and the Blackstaff even resides here and bolsters their forces with his army. So it's a place of safety and comfort and commerce, which is what have brought all of us to Neverwinter. And all of you have come to the city of Neverwinter for various reasons, which are yours to share or not. But as we start our campaign, we have heard that there is a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker who is looking for adventurers to guard a wagon as it goes to a nearby settlement. It sounds like easy work, and it's something that each of you, being accomplished adventurers already, feels is within your capabilities, and seems like a short job and some easy pay. The only thing that you know is that Gundren is waiting for potential adventurers to hire and go on this journey. What are you doing? Anyway, he is looking for potential people to go on this journey as at a small, tavern that is called the Leaky Bucket. And as we start our journey, we are going to begin with Dulain. Dulain, as you navigate your way through the city of Neverwinter, tell me, what exactly would you be doing? It helps if you're not muted.
Yeah.
He
so
walks
you see
in silence.
Yeah. So you see is this very, very large furbolg with like this shirt that is obviously just overflowing with just a ridiculous amount of hair. He's doing a lot of window shopping right now. He's looking for libraries. He's looking for, oddly enough, tinker shops right now. So you can see like Dulain kind of like weaving in and out of many of these stalls, looking for kind of odds and ends, crafting supplies, building supplies. And he sees he can kind of carry around like this large basket, almost this wicker basket that's filled with just a menagerie of different products, from like, there's a box of nails here, here's like an old snow globe here. And it just looks very, very odd, but he seems to be like collecting all of these odd curios and just stacking them aside in a small basket as he makes his way.
Why, hello, Ribos. Thank you for the resub, man. Appreciate that. All right. So, as you move around, you're kind of whipping your head left and right, trying to see if you can find this tinker's shop. The streets are very crowded as people bustle back and forth, and as you kind of look around, you have to constantly stop to avoid colliding with another person. Uh, you don't find the shop you are looking for, but coming into view, very obvious, in a large wooden sign painted with black pitch. Uh, the letters very definitely say the Leaky Bucket.
Well, I might be able to find something in here, and Julian will kind of just push the door open and like make his way inside as he kind of just like scans the entire room. He realizes that it's probably a bit cold outside, right? So he's actually a bit happy for the nice rush of warmth that he gets from entering this nice tavern. So he's probably gonna actually sit down and take a look at like what he's picked up so far today, look through some of his old blueprint books, and get planning from there.
Okay,
So yeah.
so you walk in. Uh, there is a human male behind the bar. There's a couple tables filled with various peoples, dragonborns talking with elves, majority filled with humans, but there is one large table that seems to have almost a half dozen chairs that kind of takes up the majority of the space in a room. It's on the back wall near a window, and there is a dwarf sitting there. He's got several empty tankards stacked on the table in front of him, and there's also a large placard. It's hanging from this little pole that's kind of driven into the table, and the placard hangs there, and you can see it says "Help Wanted." So it's obvious he's been here before. It's probably not that uncommon of a thing for people just to kind of hang out in the bar and just kind of advertise, "Hey, I'm looking for some hands."
Delane will kind of like step up. Is this a help wanted sign, for the Leaky Bucket, or is it for another job, if you will?
It's for me. I'm Gundren Rockseeker, and I'm looking for maybe a couple, a half dozen or so strong adventurers. Do you fancy yourself to be an adventurer?
I I fancy myself to be an inventor of sorts, but I'm no stranger to braving some of the wilds.
All right, all right. Well, if you want, you're welcome to have a seat, have a drink. I'd rather not go into the details, though, until our table is full. Otherwise, I'd have to repeat myself, and I'm not too keen on that. So, why don't we just relax and enjoy some mead? On me, by the way. And he kind of gestures to the bar, and the bartender comes over with a couple wooden tankards.
Ah, thank you. Such kind hospitality I wasn't expecting.
Yes.
It's kind of you.
So, as we wait, the door opens, and you can see, standing in the frame, it's a rather large creature. Female, looks to be a centaur and heavily armored. And as they kind of thrust the door to the tavern open, you could see the bartender throws his hands up on either side. What? What are you doing? This isn't a big establishment. Where will you sit?
I Adrastia, she still has her helmet on probably. She's going to take it off and her long flowy golden locks are going to, burst out of her helmet and she's going to be like, "I apologize. I will find a small little corner to rest my haunches
Oh
on."
my god! He puts his hands up on either side of his face. No, 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 no! I don't have the space on the floor to accommodate you. I'm very sorry. If you'd like, I can bring out your order to you, or we'll open a window and you can just kind of hang in the window and we'll. I'm.
Honestly, Adrastia is not a she's not a stranger to smaller establishments, and so she will kind of like peek her head in and scan around the room, and I guess, she's heard of this job, on the, wind or whatever. um and she'll see the table, and it's the job, the help wanted is at Gundren's desk, or his table, right?
Yep, that would be correct.
Okay. She will
Thank you for
trot
the gift
around the
subs, man.
building
Appreciate that.
and then peek her head in through the window. If there's a window next to him, is there?
There is.
Sweet.
So, opening the window that's next to Gundren, you can kind of hang in and lean into the bar. He kind of leans back and looks up at you, and he kind of, hey, how you doing?
She'll say, she'll introduce herself. Adrastia Shieldmane, Knight of the Order of the Silver Chalice. How do you do today?
Very fine, very fine. I've got company and I've got ale, and I have a job that seems like it will be getting completed. So I'm very happy. Is that where you hear about the job as well?
Of course.
Excellent, excellent. So if you can just hang tight, when the rest of the table is full and we have a decent sized crew, then I'll go over the details. In the meantime, you're welcome to help yourself on me.
No,
I
perfect.
got quite a bit of coin for this endeavor, so I have no qualms with making sure that the help is well fed and ailed.
Yes, my hooves are quite achy after that long gallop on over here. I'll certainly take a couple of mugs of ale.
All right. Up next. Hey, thank you for the follows, everybody. Big Booty Britches and Bamboo Flu. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Up next, when the door opens again, you see two people walking in side by side. And as they walk in, you can see that one is very large, standing almost 7 feet tall. And they're covered in a thick mat of hair and carrying large weapons. And the other seems to be heavily armored as well, also wearing, different types of weapons and implements, and it also seems to have orcish features. So the two of them walk in together, and they kind of look around, and Gundren gives you the "What's up" nod and gestures to the empty seats.
Well, the large-looking orc person has a mask covering half of his face, and once he spots the dwarf with the sign, he looks back outside and kind of makes a waving signature to a person out there, identifying this is the location where we need to be, and starts to weave his way towards the table. Upon arrival,
The bugbear will walk over to the table and look at the sign and start slowly sounding it out. Help. What?
Coming from behind you, an almost impatient voice, somewhat unnatural and metallic. They read the sign for you, and as you turn to the source of the voice, you see a warforged in a greenish cloak.
The sign says "Help Wanted."
Oh,
Dangerous? Where are we?
this appears to be the right place, so they seem to need assistance. This might as well be a starting point for our journey anyway, since the overarching aspect of our quest needs to start somewhere, yes?
And here is not there, right?
Yes, we have left from there, and we are now
Here.
where we need to be.
Okay.
Let's have a seat with these fine people, and we will see what they have to say about getting started with our quest.
Our quest here. Okay.
Yes, sir. And
Sit down.
I sit down next to Zolzol. So you need some assistance with something, Mr. Dwarf, sir. What is it you need help with?
Well, if you would be so kind, it seems we still have one empty chair, and I'm really looking for a squad of about half dozen. So maybe, just maybe, you humor me. Let me buy you something to eat, some ale. Relax. Let us all be friendly here while we round out our group, and maybe they arrive any moment. And as he says this, the bell rings as the door once again opens, and it's very peculiar. You see the door open and then slam shut, and then it doesn't look like there's anyone there, but a few moments later you hear little plopping sounds as something rounds the table and finally comes into view. It's very small, standing nearly 3 feet high. It's a bright violet in color, and it looks like this.
Hello, I'm looking for something to drink, please.
Oh, I love it.
I knew you would.
Are you
I knew you would.
Keep that up the whole campaign?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's good. This is gonna be Oh, dude. Hey, Ribos, thanks for the biddies, buddy. Appreciate that very much.
I was just going to order some water from our dwarf friend here. Is that something you would be inclined to drink as well, or do you drink something else?
Water would be just fine. I appreciate it. It's quite dry here.
I definitely agree with that. Dwarf man, I guess 2 waters and whatever my
Bamboo
friends
flu.
do.
Thank you for the bits. Appreciate that, man.
We drink now?
Yes. It looks like our party is full. Let's drink. Let's drink. And barkeep, another round on the Rock Seeker tab. Thank you. And while we enjoy our ale, why don't we take a moment just to, if we are to be business partners and enter into a negotiation, it would help to know what offer you bring to the table. So why don't we start with you? Well, let's not forget our friend here in the window. Miss, what is your name?
Adrastia Shieldmane.
Shieldmane, a noble
says
name.
With much dignity.
So, Miss Shieldmane, tell me, what is your specialty? How will you assist in our endeavor?
My specialty is to eradicate anyone who disobeys the law and
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
and also I am quite hardy. My body is, of course, not of any humanoid that you can tell, or that you can see, and I can take a few blows. And she also, holds up her big shield that has the symbol of Tyr.
Okay. All right. A paladin in our midst. Very interesting. Yes. And what of you, fair Warforged? What shall we call you?
Dang. What does I bring?
This wonderful creature, Zolt. He is a practitioner of magics. He can do quite a few interesting things with those magics. He can summon a blade of some sort and use it in combat.
Very nice. Ribos again.
Does that seem like a good description of you, Mr. Zoltzelt?
Repair. Zolt repair.
Yes, he's also a very adept healer.
And then he casts an Eldritch Blast at the ceiling. Zolt Blast!
All right, so we have lawful stupid, actual stupid, and then we. All right.
That's
bring
stupid, I'm
to-
defective. Okay.
My friends here, I kind of try and keep him in a good way because he is my friend. I am a cleric of the gatekeepers. I heal, and well, I do not like the undead. So if we have come across any undead, or any undeath at all, it would be my pleasure to eradicate it.
Very interesting. Okay. And then what of you? This one, and he points to the bugbear.
Hit things hard.
Ah, yes, yes, and I bet you do a good job, don't you? Yes.
Dumb dwarf.
Oh. I was going to be friendly. And the little one. What is your name?
Gib from Small Stab Tribe.
And what do the small stabs do? What is your specialty, little one?
To be honest with you, my specialty is everything. But if I had to pick, it would be these.
And he shows his wrists that have around 10 daggers on each wrist.
Very good at throwing these, yes.
Excellent, excellent. And did I get everyone? He kind of starts looking around.
You can see is the this same like ridiculously fluffy furball like puts down like these 5 blueprints. Just yes, yes, capabilities. I am a totally very capable man. I assure you. I was known for being a great practitioner of magics of sorts. Back in my old clan, I was known as the what is the word that several of the more normal folk use for it? A wizard. Yes, but I have a bit more of a practical application for it, and you can see as he kind of just like keeps on modifying like this weird contraption that you can see with almost glowing a very just bright bluish light that's just emanating this cold air off of it. Just, I believe I have a very fine application.
Ribos again, coming up through with the hookup, man. Appreciate that very much. Bamboo Blue, not one bear. Welcome to the family. Hello. Appreciate you, man. Gundren nods at you, and he begins to shake his head. Well, I think this group will do just fine. It's not a very complicated job, but it will take a bit of time. You see, I am Gundren Rockseeker. Yes, of those Rockseekers. I'm sure you've heard of us.
No.
Not from this realm. Just recently arriving. No idea.
Would Adrastia know of them? Because she is educated.
You can make a history check, see if you're familiar with the name.
Okay. Did it do?
Wow. Well,
Okay.
Adrastia, being very well learned, knows that the Rockseeker clan of dwarfs this is kind of racist against dwarfs. They're known for being miners. Yeah. Go figure, right? dwarves like to mine ore from the mountains. I know.
Address. Yeah, she'll be like, "Of course, I've heard of you. You're from you're the miners from so and so area that I assume that I would know.
The Sword Coast.
The Sword Coast, of course."
Yes. Ah, see, you do know. So, my family has already accumulated a bit of wealth. It's why I can afford to pay for your accommodations and your food and your ale, even though you've drank quite a bit of it. But you know, I've been having a bit of a kerfuffle. You see, one of our mining towns. It's a small place, only a few hundred souls. It's called Phandalin. It's several days travel from here, and you know, being so small, there's really not much there outside of our mining outpost, the workers, and then a few people that cater to the miners, and so, right? Most of the provisions for the town are bought, and then they come down the high road and are delivered, right? That's things like our food, livestock, you know, different materials, like clothing, and as there's really not much in the area itself. So we negotiate these things from different merchants in Neverwinter, and then they send it down in a big caravan. And the issue is that the caravan hasn't been arriving. You know, we've been having a problem, and for some reason or other, I am to believe that our caravans are being attacked, as they simply don't arrive, and then upon investigation, we can find wreckage of the cart, no bodies, and all of the provisions have been removed. So, I'm looking for a number of able-bodied adventurers who would be able to escort the caravan, and I'm sure that your presence is all that's needed. You know, that's all you have to do. Accompany the cart, and an armed escort would be a deterrent to anyone foolish enough to try and rob it. You see what I'm saying? I sincerely doubt you'll actually have to get your hands dirty.
So you need us to guard the caravan from whatever brigands are on this path.
Correct. Yes, and it's very important because, as I said, that is Phandalin's food, their supplies and provisions. It's very important that it arrives.
I don't see why we wouldn't be able to accomplish that task. At least me and Zolt, I think, would be on board with something as simple as this.
Sold? Sold.
Yes.
Excellent. There are no other objections, questions, anything I can answer for you?
What's the pay?
Well, I suppose it depends. Would you like to be compensated per person, or would you like the group rate?
As endearing as these other four people are, I would have to go with a individual paying of monies to at least me and my friend here. I don't know if the group rate would be necessarily in the best interests of the parties involved.
Well then, I can offer you, he kind of leans back, and you can tell he sways a little bit. He's been hanging on the bar all day. He kind of leans back, and he pulls a little pocketbook out, licks his finger, starts thumbing through it. Okay. I can give you 10 gold pieces per person per day.
I'll insight check to see if he's lying.
It's not necessary. He's not lying.
Okay.
Very obvious.
All right. And well, that seems satisfactory to me. I mean, we are just getting started on our adventuring career. That seems modest for a start.
I think it's a little low for someone of my skill level, but I suppose it will do.
I like
Relax, Manny.
Honestly.
Hey, Nors,
Oh,
welcome
go ahead.
back, buddy. How you?
It'll,
No, go
It-
ahead.
it'll allow for me to cover some of my expenses for returning home for the moment that I eventually do. So that should be good enough for me.
Yeah, and Andrastia will pipe up and she'll say, well, if there's innocents that are going hungry, then I will help.
Excellent, excellent. So the next caravan taking supplies to Phandalin leaves tomorrow morning. Okay? If you guys are taking the job, I will inform the bartender that your meals, your ale, your room for the night is to go on the Rock Seeker tab. I will provide that for you out of courtesy. And then you are to meet with the caravan at the south gate at the crack of dawn. Okay?
Do I get a room?
I'm wealthy. I could throw enough coins at the bartender until they shut up. So yes,
Thank
of course.
Thank you. Because I know I am quite large compared to you humans and dwarves. And
it is
warforged and
imperative
things.
that that you understand the expectation for the job completion. So can someone repeat it back to me?
We have to wake up at the crack of dawn, or at the crack of dawn. Sorry, that was
Correct.
habit. And go to the wagon and escort.
Where's the wagon?
The wagon is where you said it was.
At the south gate at dawn.
Southgate. Exactly.
Okay. All right. So that's the first step. Right? Southgate, join the caravan. After arriving in Phandalin, you are to meet with me in Barthen's Provisions. Okay, Barthen, he leads the sundry there. He is the one that the delivery is for, and then he distributes it as needed. You guys are leaving in the morning with the caravan. I am going to go with my personal bodyguard tonight, and I will meet you in Phandalin. Okay?
All right, that sounds
On your
good to me.
orders.
That works for me.
All right. Well then, if there is nothing else, I'm going to be off, and I will see you at Barthen's Provisions in several days.
All right. We will see you then, Mr. Gundren Rockseeker.
Gib offers a toast to everyone else. Well, here's to our adventure, and he holds his cup up.
Cheers. What are you?
You've never heard of us?
I might have heard of you, actually. I'm quite educated. Have I heard of him before?
A grung.
You want to make another history check?
I guess.
Sure. That'll be the thing for this campaign.
Let's see how educated I am.
Mm-hmm. That is a pass. You know that the Grung are
Test.
native people to the peninsula of Chult, and that they are small amphibian-like people with poisonous skin, and that you should never, under any circumstances, touch a Grung.
Okay. She'll keep this in mind and be like, of course, you're those little poison people. And then she'll take a little swig of her ale.
Yes, and instead of drinking it, I dump my water on my head.
Zalt does the same.
Now, be careful of your circuitry, Zolt. I did try and bring you back, but I don't want to have to use a lot of magics to repair you once more.
Can giant thing fix?
Zalt seems okay. Water not hurt.
Okay. I'm always looking out for you, my friends.
You can see as Dulain kind of picks up this tankard, right? You can see as he kind of catches a whiff of the ale inside, he kind of like his face shrinks up and his ears kind of flatten against the back of his neck. He just, yes, a toast, I guess, and he just puts it back down on the table and just kind of like pushes it away a bit.
That's a great course of action. We will have to get up early in the morning, and drinking a significant amount will not aid in that endeavor.
No, I just alcohol isn't terribly common from where Conclave was, and you can see as he kind of like just catches another like whiff of it, and he just looks really, really disgusted. Especially not ales.
Well, it takes twice as much as for me to get intoxicated as the normal creature around here. So I'm
Question.
okay with just a 2.
Are you going to be pulling one of the carts tomorrow?
She sees, or her nose like kind of flares a little bit, and she's going to look down, and she is going. I'm trying to think of an insult for you, but I can't.
It took me a minute. I didn't realize. I was like, why would she be? Oh, she's a horse.
Yeah, are you going to be fitting into all the tight spaces that we can't?
I mean, it's what I'm good at, so I suppose so.
But no, I will not be pulling one of the freaking carts.
Is this how the
That
both
would
of you are
mess
going?
up my.
Is this how the both of you are going to behave for the duration of our adventure?
Oh, I hope so.
No,
Going
you
from
just
best friend to best enemy.
you've made a lot of comments about you being, I'm a lot larger stature, right? And then Dulain kind of like stands up, this 8.5 foot tall, like really beefy furbolg, and just, not everybody is like. And he kind of gestures towards a Gib, and he like doesn't really say anything. He's just,
That is
not
true.
Yes.
no offense, Gib, none at all.
Not everyone can be as majestic as I am, I understand.
That is absolutely what I was mentioning, was how majestic you are.
You said 8 foot. How many inches?
Dulain is 8'7".
Okay, I'm like a 1.5 foot shorter because I'm pretty tall. I'm like almost 7 foot. Like I'm 6'9".
Just furbolgs in general are always like really big. So
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But Gib will have to wake up early in the morning and submerge himself in the river over here for a good hour before we leave.
What is because I don't remember off the top of my head. What is the Grung's limited amphibiousness? You have to be submerged once a day?
Yes, it's once a day for at least an hour.
Okay.
And I suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Right.
If I do not.
Okie dokie. You'll be fine.
How tall is he?
Gib?
Mm-hmm.
He's around like 2 foot, 2'5", somewhere around there. He's pretty small.
So we can just have like a giant water basin and fill it up with water. Or not a giant one, but a small one. We could basically carry around a little bathtub for you.
Yes, you're all good at carrying things, I'm sure.
We could just carry a barrel for him.
Why, yes, I am good at carrying things.
It doesn't have to be like a whole ass barrel. It could just be like a backpack.
It's like a 5-gallon bucket.
A camelback.
There you go. Yeah. If someone's wearing like splint or plate, they could just remove like their bucket helm and fill it with water. Go ahead, sit in there, little buddy.
Can
Gotta wash
carry
it out
me in the
afterwards.
bucket helm while we're walking.
All right. Well, are we bunking down for the night, or are we gonna continue with other business? What would you guys like to do?
Whenever Adrastia does bunk down for the night, she's going to move her bed all the way to the side of the room to give herself some space, and she's going to lay down the blankets because beds don't suit her, and she's just gonna and she's a kicker when she sleeps, and so there might be a couple pieces of broken furniture.
Whoa, what was that?
What?
Wakes up the whole party's gonna get exhaustion because she keeps like thunking against the wood of the bed.
Dreaming of
Wait,
writing in planes.
do centaurs sleep in beds? They would just like lay on the ground, right?
I guess so. I don't know how they sleep. Someone wants to draw that up.
Anywho. Anyone else?
Horses sleep standing up.
I would chat with
Is
the
that
fur
true?
dog for a moment just to be sure. I know of wizards in my realm that work in the necromancy magic. You aren't going to go that route, right? You aren't going to make any undead creatures.
Oh, it depends on the situation entirely, but that is not my forte for the time being, tentatively.
Yeah, I don't want any kind of trouble between the two of us, as
No.
I do not like the undead, and
No,
I
I
will probably destroy any undead I see because
I can absolutely tell you that for the time being, as of this moment, without a doubt, that I currently have no undead or undeath capabilities for this current time period right now.
So later, yes, just not now.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, the
A
future
lot of
is so
words for no.
the future is uncertain. There's always a possibility.
undeath is
Yeah.
wrong and needs to be eradicated. That's basically all I have to say on that matter.
And you know what? I can absolutely see where you're coming from. Absolutely. I'm just saying that you don't need to worry about it for the time being. Like, at least not today, not even tomorrow. So we'll be off to a good start, at least.
Yes, I agree. We will be off to a good start. Well, I am going to turn in for the evening after having my meal and whatnot, and I'll head upstairs.
All right. I hope you enjoy your evening, friend. Dulaine will also kind of like stand, and you see as he like orders like a glass of water, right? He sees he like kind of gets it. It's a bit warm, and he looks like he's about to cast a spell. And he stops himself, and he takes out like this weird kind of like snow globe, and he drops it in the water, and you just see like the entire glass just freeze solid. And he just kind of nods, smiles in affirmation, and then goes to bed with his new glass of, honestly, it's just straight ice. He doesn't know how he did it. He just tried to make an ice cube out of a snow globe, and now now he just has a block of ice entirely.
Excellent.
At least by the time that you wake up, it'll be nice, cold, crisp glass of water.
Oh, he can't get the snow globe back out. It's like frozen and suspended in there now. So honestly,
never
this
mind.
entire glass is ruined now.
Damn. Darn.
Just keep it next to your water skin, and then it'll constantly be semi-chilled, I guess. I don't know. All right, anyone else? Last business before bedtime.
Ursula's gonna scam up the unfinished drinks, down them all, and then go upstairs and go to sleep.
Oh, making a purple Jesus. Okay.
Except for the frogs. That one's poisonous and bad. You don't even look at that one.
Oh, it was dumped over my head.
Okie dokie. Okay. So then you guys rest for the night. Somehow sleeping through Andrastia's hooves as they collide with the wooden frame of the room. You wake up early the next morning, and I'd say it's sun hasn't quite crested yet. It's still very, very early. You have a little bit of time for some last minute preparations before you head off with the caravan. Is there anything to do?
Adrastia, in full armor, before anybody else gets up, is going to be outside stretching her 6 limbs and doing her morning exercises.
Out of curiosity, what weapon does she use?
She uses a warhammer and a shield.
Warhammer. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just like her good deity tier.
Okay. Anyone else need to conduct any business before we go?
Besides the submerging, I'm all set.
Nope. Okay. So you get dunked, and then everybody meets up and heads to the south gate.
I was gonna say, when Zalt and Dang come out, Zalt would lean over and point at just the horse lady, and point at the horse lady and say, "Dangerous. Can Zalt have shield?"
I don't believe there's anything stopping you from having a shield. We would need to acquire one, though, my friend. I don't have the coin presently to purchase a shield for you. But once we get paid for this caravan transportation guarding routine, we should have plenty of the currency for this realm's ability to buy you the shield that you want.
Is their coin not here coin?
I don't know the conversion between Eberron and Faerun, but I'm sure there's something out there.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get over to the wagons now.
All right. As you head to the south gate, you can see there is a mid-sized caravan. It's just a single wagon, and it's packed quite high with a number of objects. You can't quite tell what, as there's a tarp that has covered them, and the tarp is like lashed down to the wagon to hold everything secure and in place while it moves. There is a single man, middle-aged, long grayish hair, moving about the back of the cart, tying everything down, making sure it's secure. And as the 6 of you approach, he kind of turns around and he looks. He says, "Oh, is this it? Just to help from Gundren?"
Yes, we are the ones he hired for this escort mission. There's just the one wagon here. Will there be room for us to ride upon it, or will we be going at our walking pace?
He kind of leans back and he scratches his chest idly. Well, I mean, I'm a driver, so I needs to sit in the bench. I mean, one of you could probably sit in the bench too, but
Perfect.
everyone else is gonna have to walk.
Okay, walking pace then. That's fine. I just wanted to.
Yeah. I'm not gonna drive her real fast. Like we got cargo and
We
stuff.
don't have to do that. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Which of us would like to ride on the bench with the driver?
You can see as Dulain kind of like shakily raises his hand, just, if I'm sitting down, it'll give me more time to work on some projects. I hope none of you would mind.
I think the little one should, because his legs aren't long enough
Oh, I could
to
put the
keep
little
up
one.
with the pace.
I could put the little one in my lap while I work, and he kind of.
You want to touch that thing.
That is not a good idea, sir.
You can see as like Dulain kind of just like puts on like it looks like an old like cooking mitt, right? It looks like an old like oven glove that has like scraps of metal like attached to it. He's like, I think this should be fine now. It's like an old oven mitt.
It's fine. I will walk. You are not
Gib-
blessed enough to touch my skin.
Oh. Rejected.
There's a Napoleon complex. I love it.
Grung with a Napoleon complex. If you would like to sit on the cart, I'm fine switching places with you if you'd like. Though I understand that walking long distances may be a bit difficult.
Oh, yes, that's a good idea. The peasantry should walk. And he gets in the cart.
All right.
How do I know that you're no heretic, little thing?
Reminds me of the bishops at church back home.
Well, the bishops at my church helped the peasants.
Hmm. Shall we be going, driver?
Yep. Yeah, that's okay.
And just make sure you don't touch the frog next to you. Apparently, his skin is poison, and it will not work out well for you. So let's just avoid that.
That's okay. I like my personal space, so I mean, this kind of works out for me. Mm-hmm.
Good. And little frog man, try to keep to your side of the cart. I know that you feel entitled to roam freely, as one of your stature might, but try and keep the space away from the driver so that we don't have any accidents if we're to hit a rock or something along the path.
Accidentally touches the driver mid, the whole cart careens off the road.
We don't want that to happen, so we will. You stay on your side, he'll stay on his. It'll be fine.
Just wrap up the little frog in like saran wrap or something until something happens.
Get him a morph suit. All right. So the driver he attaches two very sad looking donkeys, and you sad as in they are very old and tired. He arranges everything and spurns them to move, and the wagon begins its very, very slow, I cannot stress this enough, very slow progress towards the city of Vandalin. It's actually quite beautiful out. Not a rain cloud to be seen for miles. The sun rises and greets you. It's pleasant, and you travel, without anything eventful for probably half the day. It's well past noon, and as you've been traveling the tribe, oh no, as you come around a bend, you see something on the road up ahead. The wagon keeper he pulls the donkeys to a halt, and he points. There's something up there.
What does it look like?
Well, he's old. His eyes aren't quite so good, so he couldn't quite make it out. The rest of you, though, your eyesight is just fine, and you can clearly see there are two dead horses sprawled about 50 feet up ahead of you. They are blocking the path on the tribor, and even at this distance, you can see that there are a number of black feathered arrows sticking up out of the horses.
Driver, have you been down this path recently? Like when your last trip you came from Vandalin, when was that?
Well, I haven't made this trip in a little while.
All right. Well, this looks peculiar. Where is the cart that goes with those horses, or even the bodies that rode them? It seems odd.
I'm gonna stay here. Why don't you go and you should go.
Yes, we should be quiet for a moment, and Gib is gonna uh, try to look for any spots that could be possible ambush spots or anything like that.
Well, as you kind of look around, you see that the woods press close to the trail here on either side. There's a steep embankment on each side where it looks like the horses lay. So it looks like there's quite a large number of spaces where people could be lying in wait.
We should be careful. There's a couple of ambush spots ahead, so we should proceed quietly and try to see if anything is waiting for us.
Maybe we could check out the woods.
Well, stealth isn't really my forte with this armor I've got. We can approach as a group, though, and numbers usually scare off people that wishing to do harm to others.
Not if they have the advantage of terrain.
Frogs talking sense.
Well, how
Oh,
should
no.
we approach then? I am able to move ahead if you'd like. I'm, again, not very quiet.
We could always find another path, you know. We're being paid by the day, and if we spend more days traveling, it might lead to some frustration, but it will also lead to more money in our pockets.
I turn to the driver. Is there another path to Fandolin or that we can take? Can we go around this?
Mm-mm. Vandalin already sits in a little spit of wilderness. Making our way down the Tribor is the only way to get there.
Adrastia has heard quite enough, and then she's going to step a little bit forward and say, by the Knights of the Silver Chalice, whoever is in charge of murders, you're under arrest. She's gonna call out.
You
Right.
hear a small slap, and you see Gibbs' hand on his forehead.
Why would you do that?
Well, we could hear them.
Surprise.
There is no response except for your own voice echoing over the hillside.
Erskine's going to step into the trees and try to quietly sneak around.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is going nowhere. I'll not quietly and not stealthy. I'll move to right about there.
Gib is going to follow him and attempt to move quietly around the flipping right-hand side. I think that's what we're looking at.
Yes.
Yeah, Adrastia would notice him going forward and be.
As you approach, you guys are already suspicious. If you could just make a perception check, please. All right. All right. So you guys begin to walk forward. You travel forward another 10 feet. Go ahead. As you approach, Gib, you can't see where the source is, but you hear it. Almost like someone has knocked loose some soil or stones, and you can hear, the sediment as it rolls down the embankment here. So you hear it, you look in the direction, you don't see the source, but it's obvious that someone's hiding at the top of that cliffside.
The right-hand side. There's people over there for sure. That rock just tumbled down over there and I could hear movement.
All right.
Can I attempt to throw a dagger in like the vague direction of the noise in the brush?
The brush isn't the issue here. It's height, right?
That makes sense.
So I mean, you could like throw a dagger at the location, but you don't see anybody there. They're probably laying prone.
If he throws a dagger, I'm throwing an Eldritch Bolt roughly where he's throwing it. Not because like I think I'm gonna hit anything or see anything, but because I follow, monkey see, monkey do kind of thing.
Sure.
Zalt is just looking really confused as to what's going on, just in general.
Right. I'll step back 10 feet. Zolt, it appears we have company.
Company? Here?
Unfriendly company.
Okay.
As you guys, so Danger begins to start stepping back, right? And this sudden change from the party's approach to the party's retreat alerts the people in watch as to what is happening. And you hear a gravelly voice. The jig is up, boys! They know! Charge! And you see a number of goblins leaping from the embankments, coming out of the bushes, spears and bows drawn, ready to attack. Can we roll initiative, please?
Ooh, some very bad initiative rolls.
I haven't actually looked yet.
I didn't have my token selected when I clicked the thing.
Yeah,
And
I haven't played
select
in a
your
while,
token
so-
and click the thing again, and then change it to whatever you rolled.
That's
can
what
do
I
that?
just did.
Yeah, you can click the number in the
Oh.
turn tracker and change it.
Nice. I didn't know I could do that.
And that's poopy. I also rolled poopy. Yeah, my goblins are gonna go before your goblin. Sorry. I get to pick. I'm going first. So Zolt will actually get the first action in combat. What would you like to do?
I'd like to look at Dangerous and try and gauge his reaction to see if these are hostiles or not, because I'm not quite sure. What's Dangerous look like right now? Like, does he look like he's ready to fight them, or?
Yes.
Then I'm gonna Zald Blast towards this one right here. Zalt Blast.
Which one was it again? I missed
That
A.
one, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the Eldritch Blast hits the tiny creature in its midsection, and you see it just crumples over and dies.
Zalt.
All right. Tulane.
As you can see, as these goblins kind of come over, like the sides, like beginning to attack the party. Dulane seems like blissfully unaware right now. He's kind of like wandering throughout the woods, seemingly like tinkering with something in his hands. He starts walking about this way, and you can see as he hits his foot on a rock and he stumbles a bit. And you can see as he drops this weird box on the ground, just no. And it hits the ground, and you see this part of it just come flying out at near breakneck speeds. And I need a dexterity saving throw from this goblin, as he's going to get catapulted by a broken machine.
All right. Well, I have passed. It's half on a pass, correct?
No, catapult to save or suck.
All right. Well, then you suck. The goblin just hit the deck, and he drops down, and the broken debris just flies harmlessly over his head.
Yeah, no, you can just see like Newland just like no, 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 and he starts like running like towards it, and that'll be like Dulane's turn as he's trying to scramble to get his broken piece.
All right, Adrastea.
All right, Justia will
Adrastea.
be. Yeah, I'm confused by it too. Will be
All
like
right,
charge,
Addie.
Daddy, Adra. Okay, charge, and then she'll charge. She has 30 feet right there, and then she's going to hit with her Warhammer. Did it go through?
Good.
Okay, I don't know why
So
it's both of
one-handed.
those. Yes, and then as a bonus action, I'm going to hit it with my hooves because I can do that. Maybe.
Well, I mean, the Warhammer is enough to kill it. So
Nice.
you strike him, there's a sickening crack, and as the goblin falls, you kick him with the hoof anyway?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna kick it towards his friend up here.
Oh, that's not very nice. What would Tyr
And,
think about that?
she didn't know. It was behind her.
Dangerous turns to Zolt and pats him on the back. Good job, Zolt. That was an amazing shot by you. And then he looks over towards that guy and it's like, let me see what I can do. And shoots a little radiant energy his way.
A little radiant.
Horrible.
Sacred flame? Oh, okay. Well, the goblin seems a little too distracted by the rampaging centaur. So he gets hit by the sacred flame, and then he
Not as-
kind of holds his hand up to his head where he was burned. Ah!
Not as good as you, my friend, but maybe someday I will be there.
All right, blood.
Gib is gonna flip flop his way over here. You should have just stayed in the bushes. And then he's gonna throw 2 daggers. One at this one up here, and then one at the one over here.
Sure. Yeah, 17 will hit. The first guy goes down. The second one will miss.
And that is his turn.
Haha! I still have living goblins. Goblin number 1. He is going to take out his short bow, and he's going to aim it at Andrastia and fire. And wow, okay. He pulls at the ragged string. The whole thing just kind of disintegrates, and he looks panicked for a moment. The other one over here, he kind of runs forward 5 feet, and he leaps off of the embankment, coming down with a scimitar, attacking and missing horribly. And then it goes to Ursk.
Wrong button. Ursk will step to here and swing at this.
Jesus. Yep. That is a hit. And
Then Ursk will step back into the bushes.
Zolt.
Zolt Blast. The one I can see. That button.
Nope. That would be a miss.
Sad Zolt noises.
All right. So you see, Dulane trying to like scramble after like this broken piece. You see, it's like something like falls out of his pocket, and this goblin here, just happens to see Dulane's incredibly messy and super convoluted blueprints. And as he does so, I need an int save as he sees these absolutely messy blueprints and just starts to get like a really bad headache from seeing them. Because Dulane's the only one that can understand his writing.
Psychic. What is this?
This is Mind Sliver.
Okay. Fail. He takes 4 psychic.
And he has a D4 subtracted from his next saving throw as he keeps on trying to comprehend how absolutely awful these things look. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And then that'll be
Drastia.
Okay. I'm just gonna swing my warhammer at the little thing that just popped up beside me.
Yes.
That so bravely came closer to me.
Well, and as the warhammer strikes the creature, you see he falls to the ground, and that is the end of combat. As the last one falls, you hear several peals of laughter, chittering noises from off in the woods, but they seem to be a great distance away.
Can we tell which direction they're coming from?
South.
Should we pursue them, or should we stay with the cart? As
Our job's to guard the cart.
You're welcome to pursue them, but I think they're a waste of time. They're disgustingly weak creatures.
yes, I can't. I definitely agree with you there. All right. Well, we need to move these horses out of the way. You people up front seem to be strong enough to move them. I am unfortunately not as well endowed in that nature. So if you could heave your backs into it and move those horses, that would be wonderful.
Actually, it's wise to lift with your legs. And she will attempt to move the horses.
So
First, we'll work on the gray one.
So as you two move forward to move the horses out of the pathway, you can see that the saddlebags have been looted, and that there is a large patch of blood that seems to be dragged away from where the horses lie. You also notice there is an empty map case lying on the ground, and when you look at it, there's an emblem. So looks like a circle burnt into the leather, and it is emblazoned with the initials GR.
And I would know that that's the Rock Seekers, or
Gundren Rockseeker. Yes,
yeah.
you would make the connection.
Yeah.
It is the very same man who hired you for this endeavor.
Well, this belongs to the one who is paying us, so we are going to have to go follow those goblins.
Yes, I'd much rather get paid than not. So yes, let's pursue. I'll go back to the driver. Sir, can you make it to Fenelon from here? We have to pursue the goblins into the forest.
Oh, I mean, if that was the thing that's been ambushing everybody, maybe it'll be okay.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck getting there. We don't foresee any problems from this point forward. So yes, we will take our leave from you at this point and start moving south.
Gib will
should
hand.
Should we check these bodies first? Make sure that they don't maybe have a map or something.
The horses are empty.
The
Means the
goblins.
I don't know.
The goblins carry very crude scimitars and short bows, arrows that are made out of they're little more than just sharpened sticks with small ragged pieces of metal kind of affixed to the top. They don't seem to be in very good condition, and you don't think it's very worthwhile taking them.
Oh, really? Dulane will go around to every single goblin, and he will take all of their arrows, and he will peel like the small, crappy pieces of like little metal shards off of all the arrowheads. He'll take all the arrowheads for himself and just shove them in a big bag. Nobody knows what they're for. He doesn't even know what they're for. He's just taking because they're shiny. He likes sticking shiny things into other shiny things because,
Sure.
big things happen with that.
2, 4, 6, 8, 100 shards of metal, assuming they each had full bundles of arrows. 100 shards of metal in a large sack into your inventory. Let's say that's, I don't know, 10 pounds? I think that's fair.
Sure.
Before we go, Gib goes and retrieves his daggers and wipes one on his skin and hands the handle to the driver and says, "Don't touch the blade, but keep this for protection."
Oh, yeah, okay. I could do that.
I love this driver.
All right. Any other business before we continue?
Onwards and forwards.
All right. So we begin heading off in the direction of the where the goblins had went from. As you enter the forest, it's still pretty well lit, as it's midday. The sun is out, but the canopy of the trees blocks a good portion of the sunlight. It is dimly lit through the forest, and it's somewhat difficult to follow the trail. Would somebody like to make a survival check to try and discern where the goblins had went through the brush? Holy, okay, well.
He's from the jungles of Cholt. He's got this.
Apparently. So you see Gib practically disappears in the tall grass and brush, and every now and then a little hand will pop up over the grass line. It's this way.
Over here.
Okay. And so I'm assuming then Gib is in the front. What would the marching order look like?
Ersk would be right behind him.
And Adrastia would probably be right there as well.
I would probably be fourth in line.
And whoever dangerous is, Zolt's not that far behind.
And then our wizard will be in the back, as they should be.
Yeah, Delane kind of realized he's like, wait, party's 30 feet off ahead, right? He keeps him scrambling after picking up some, I don't know, some random stone, right?
Okay. So, you guys continue to follow the trail. Gib and Ersk, what are your passive perceptions?
15.
12.
Yikes. Oh, even yikes-er. Well, let me check. DC 10. Boo! Lost Minds of Fandelver. Boo. So, just so you know, it is, as I said, dimly lit. It gives you disadvantage on perception checks that rely on sight, which would make your passive a 10, which is exactly what you need. So, with our little frog friend in the front, you are able to see it before you step into it. It looks like there is a braided vine that cuts horizontally across the trail, and you stop abruptly. Kind of everybody else bumps into each other as the march comes to a very quick end, and you stop yourself about 2 feet away from this vine.
You said it's laying horizontally, so it's like a tripwire?
It's exactly like a tripwire.
Be careful, there's traps around. This is the first time I've played a character without dark vision, so that's going to be fun.
I don't have dark vision either.
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh shit! The bugbear has dark vision, and so does the half orc.
All right.
But 4 out of 6, that's pretty gnarly. That's
As Dulane kind of notices it getting dark, you see he kind of like reaches in his pack and he pulls out like this really weird it looks like a bouncy ball that has like a bunch of glass shards just like sticking in and out of it, right? And he kind of like holds it up and he shines like a miniature flashlight at it, and that's how he's going to cast that's how he's going to cast light. As
boo.
this small disco ball just turns with like a flashlight pointed at it.
Boo.
That's going to attract a lot of attention. But yeah, I attempt to like disarm the tripwire, or if we know it's there, I guess we can just step over it.
Yeah, well, it's whatever you would like to do. You want to disarm it, or do you just want to go around it?
I don't know if I trust Delane to be able to step over it, or if I trust the horse lady to not get one of her huge 4 hoofs into it.
She's
So let's
clomping
try to
around.
disarm it.
All right, so
I would like to assist with that.
all right, so how do we disarm the trap?
See what it attaches to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. You can see as you follow the tripwire, you see it goes off into the brush. So you walk a little bit to the east, you follow the tripwire, and you can see on the other side, obscured by the tree line, there is a tree that's like bent over, right? It's like staked to the ground. You can see there's a huge amount of tension on the tripwire, and that this tree is kind of just suspended like this. So there's a great amount of potential here. But what's it connected to?
Yeah, that's weird. Is the tree like able to toss something at us? Is that what it looks like, or?
Nope.
Like it'll fall over.
Let's say we just for conversation's sake, we follow the tripwire to the other side of the forest, and we look to what it's attached to on the left, and you can see over there, there is another thing. It's secured to another nearby tree, and again, it's held in place with stakes in the ground. But the whole thing is like it's barely held together, right? Like the slightest bit of tension on the line, it's going to pull those stakes to uproot, and then the tension from that tree is going to pull whatever is on the left with a great amount of force across the trail. And when you look to the left, what's over there? You see that attached to the other side, it's like a large log that's been sharpened to a point. So that if you were to set off this trap, this giant battering ram would just wreck right through the trail and probably disembowel whoever was unfortunate enough to touch it.
So it has to be like held aloft by something, right? Can I just throw a dagger at whatever vine is holding it up so that it just falls down?
Yes. Sure.
All right. You want me to
Let's
make
just
an
call it
attack roll? Or?
not an attack roll. It'd just be an acrobatics check or dexterity check.
Okay.
Whatever you prefer. That's not wonderful. But you will get the desired effect. You throw your dagger, it kind of just pinks. It doesn't quite cut its way through this vine, but as stated before, any amount of change in the tension on the line is going to trigger the trap. And since we're standing a reasonably safe distance away because we know it's there, we hit the vine, the trap triggers, this log just rips right through the trail, and now it's over to our east. It's out of the way, and we are safe. But it made a shit ton of noise. I mean, this thing just tore through all the brush, and it's a huge log, so when it landed, it hit the forest floor. Boom! Birds went flying. I mean, it's madness.
Wow, that almost made as much noise as your feet. And he turns to the horse lady.
Maybe the people who said that
uh,
can see what it did.
she's going to huff in disgruntlement and just trot forward with much dignity.
So, are you overtaking him as the
Oh
lead?
no, you know what? I shouldn't.
Okay. So we continue walking right now, cautious, because we know these crafty little buggers have set traps. I would like you to make me a second survival check, please, to try and maintain the trail. Still very, very good. So we're moving along, right? We're following this path, and as now it is illuminated by the disco ball from Dulaine. As we move ahead, you can clearly see, without a doubt, that there's about 10 feet up ahead of you. There is something wrong with the brush on the trail. It seems to be like most of the it's spring. The weather is fair. All of the greenery and the vegetation is in bloom. But up ahead of you, there's a patch about 10 feet by 10 feet that it appears the leaves that and grass that are on the forest floor, they're not quite as vibrant a green. They look like they've aged a little bit, almost like they've started to decay. It just looks off.
Well, that looks like a pitfall trap if I've ever seen one. And he's gonna walk around that section of brush instead of through it.
Okay.
Undead leaves.
Is there enough room on either side for me to walk through? Because I know we're surrounded by trees and stuff, and we're going down this little tiny trail.
Absolutely. You don't have to stay on the
Wonderful.
trail. That's just what we have been doing because we're following the path the goblins had took.
Wonderful. I will go around a tree around the pitfall trap.
Okay.
I make my own trail. That's right.
All right. I'm just assuming everyone else is gonna walk
Oh.
around the presumably pit trap.
Are there any large rocks we can throw to like create a hole, make it so the hole is more visible?
Sure. I mean, yeah, you're in the forest. I'm sure you could find a stone.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just throw it on that.
All right. So you chuck a mid-sized rock, and as predicted, the rock, as soon as it touches the ground, you see the whole ground collapses. There's a sound of clattering and breaking twigs and sticks as the floor of the forest gives way and reveals a pit trap lined with jagged spikes carved from sticks, and they seem to be tipped with some greenish fluid.
Well, just in case we have to run back here in a hurry, we'll be able to see it. And
Good thinking. As I know, I'm not that perceptive 100% of the time, like our little tiny bug-eyed friend is.
Bug eyes? I have frog eyes. What do you mean?
Well, proportionally, your eyeballs are quite large, just like a bug.
Yes, all the better to see your huge body with.
Oh my
Sorry.
god.
I
Gonna walk out of this game with a complex.
I know.
Why is he so
Very
mean to
confident
me?
person for
No,
you.
it's because he's 3 feet and you're like 8, and also a horse. And that's. Anywho, do we continue?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. As we as we continue, you eventually find the trail begins to run adjacent to a small stream. And following the stream, you come upon a mouth to a cave. Give me a moment. I will give you the god ping. And there we are.
All right.
I think I have box text to read. I don't know. All right. Following the trail, you come upon this large cave, and you've traveled about 5 miles from the scene of the ambush. The shallow stream here seems to flow out of the mouth of the cave, which is surrounded by a dense patch of briars. From where you stand, you can see that you have exited the woods from this direction, and you can see up near the mouth of the cave, there is a very suspicious looking opening.
Would one of you more powerful people like to go take a look at that little outcropping?
Or we can get our tiny friend to sneak up to it and see if there's anything around. Because I'm sure he's good at that.
Yes, just let me do everything.
Well, you seem to be. You seem to have boasted yourself to be able to do everything. Why not just leave it to you?
I mean, you did say that.
That
This is
is true. If you want something done right, you better do it yourself.
I want to see the purple man.
Ooh, very nice. So is Gib moving up by himself, or is
Earth will go with him.
all right? Can I get a stealth check from you as well?
You can.
Woo! That's a good stealth check.
Gib whispers, for someone so large, you're very quiet.
Uh,
Hey, look, water.
Gib's character can see whatever is right here. Does it detect me, or is it hidden?
You rolled a 22 on stealth. There are very few creatures in the game that have a passive that high. Anyway, so as you round the corner, yes, you can see what is there. On the east side of the flowing stream, you can see a small area in the thickets has been hollowed out, and it's sort of a lookout post. You can see there are wooden planks that kind of sit in front of the briars that make benches for these guards to lie hidden on. However, you can see that there are 2 goblins currently in the lookout, and one of them is sitting on the bench straight up. He has a tiny spear that he is gripping with both hands, and he's kind of leaning forward, resting his head on the butt of the spear, with the tip of the spear plunged into the ground as he is sleeping. The second goblin, he is lying on the ground, not asleep, but he's got his back to the opening, and he looks like he's got something in his hand that he's moving around on the soil.
Gib will take a step back towards the party and inform them of what he saw over there. There's only 2 of them, and they're quite weak. We could probably take them out quickly, and they haven't detected our presence. And he'll whisper that to whoever is stealthing with me, Ersk.
Earth will nod.
So Ersk and Gib are going to go in and try to assassinate. Is that, if I'm picking up on that correctly?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Ersk and Gib only. Can you roll initiative, please? Now, you both are hidden, right? So you will get a surprise round. So this is how we're going to manage it. The two of you can get to, well, you're before the goblin anyway. The two of you can run in, do your action. The goblins won't be able to respond at first because they are surprised. And then at the start of round 2, we'll play it out from there. Okay? So,
Okay.
Gib, you're first.
We'll move quietly over here and attempt to throw a dagger at each of them.
Now, be mindful. Actually, only the one is prone. The sleeping one, he's propped up. And I may have made a mistake. Why is the sleeping one not prone? I don't know. All right.
Reasons.
All right, so you throw one dagger at the guy who's propped up. It catches him, and without a sound, he just falls over dead. The second dagger is going to miss. At which point, you hear a small, confused, Ersk! Ersk, you can't travel through the brush, my dog. It's too dense. I think you're still good, though, because it's 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Yeah, 30 will put you right up in front of him. Oh, wait, you're a bugbear. You got noodle arms. You're fine.
Noodle arms.
Bugbear also gets like an extra 2d6 on a surprised enemy.
Ooh. Oh. Oh. That's a miss!
We don't have advantage? No.
Oh! Wait, is this a melee attack or is this a ranged attack?
Melee.
He is prone, remember? Damn it.
There we go.
I just want to pile on.
All right. So the small and frightened goblin lets out a terrified as his life is cut short, and the lookouts are dead.
Noise.
So
Gib goes in.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Standing here now with the two of you at the mouth of the cave, you can hear several noises coming from inside, but you can't tell how far because sound seems to echo off of the walls of the cave and the high ceilings, and there's a constant sound of the running water and the bubbling stream. But it sounds like growling and barking, as well as voices chittering in Goblin, as well as something much larger, more gruff and mean. And
Are they saying anything specific in Goblin?
not that you can make out, because again, everything is kind of jumbled together from the echoes of the cave. So you could tell that it sounds like they're speaking Goblin, but you can't make out the words. You can't hear it well enough. And that is where we're going to end for today. And when we come back, not next week because somebody's going to be absent. When we come back week after next, we will pick up with exploring the Cragmaw Cavern. All right.
Do we get a level? Do we get a level, DWB?
Hell
Do
no,
we get a
you
level?
don't
Do we get a level?
Oh, I see.
You get a
This is what,
level?
because I do it to you. No!
Yeah.
You don't get you get XP.
This is what happens
You get
every weekend, like-
75. Like, you get 75 XP. It doesn't matter because it's milestone. If you want to mark it on your sheet, though, you can have some feel good points. But thank you all for coming and hanging out. Appreciate you being here. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves. If you did, make sure you hit that follow button. If you haven't already, what the hell's wrong with you? Please tell me why haven't you followed? I'm cloying for your attention. I'd really like to know. But thank you again for coming and hanging out. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you come back tomorrow. We'll be playing Call of Cthulhu at 7, and it should be a really good time. and I'll see you later.